Hello again. My name is Christopher F. Coleman with the Business Intelligence Group. I'm a business leader, advisor, and business coach, giving a business perspective on the things that I enjoy and activities that I love. And at this moment in time, in this season, at this juncture in my life, I've been enjoying women's basketball, the WNBA, Unrivaled, the whole thing. And in this video, I want to talk more about the leadership of the WNBA and its owners, as well as the CBA negotiations and where possibly the WNBA, the direction the WNBA is trying to go into, which means that maybe the old guard is out and new faces are coming in. Stay tuned. Welcome back, you guys. This is Christopher Coleman, and I'm excited about this video because I can go a little bit deeper into some of the business aspects of what's going on in the WNBA. And, just checking my notes right here. So the first thing I want to talk about is Jordan, Canada. And this is just a nugget, during these negotiations, there's a lot of comments about Unrivaled. I made a video about is there a conflict of interest with their co-owners, co-founders with Nafisia Collier and Breonna Stewart, aka Stewie. They both being vice presidents in the Players Association. So there's definitely a conflict of interest, but it's good business from the point of view of Nafisia Collier as well as Breonna Stewart. Maybe they anticipated this time and moment, and so they brought their resources together to create the league right on time. 80% of the players have expiring contracts that'll be free agents next year in anticipation of maybe getting new contracts. But Jordan, Canada, you're like, what does this have to do with Unrivaled? Well, you would think that the WNBA and Unrivaled would be kind of separate, but when you look at the about page with Jordan, Canada here, you have some of the things, accolades: two-time WNBA champion, two-time WNBA steals leader, two times WNBA all defensive first team. But then you have this stat right here with Unrivaled, played an inaugural season of Unrivaled, Team Vinyl. Just a little nugget that I thought I'd bring out. If there was such a conflict of interest, which I think there is, why does the WNBA allow this to be on their page when it's a direct competitor? Do they care? Do they not care? Is this something that maybe an intern or somebody put together and put it on a page and didn't vet it properly? I don't know, but just, food for thought. And so there's a lot of things going on with the, CBA and the negotiations. In my last video, I talked about how I think it's great business for Breonna Stewart and Nafisia Collier to come together to build a league. That's not easy. So props up to them. A wink and a nod to them for doing that. I also, said, shame on the WNBA if they allowed it and didn't have bylaws to prevent it. And again, a lot about business and business dealings is all about having the right information to begin to will and deal, to get leverage, to get what you want. And as a fan, and as many fans, we just want an entertaining game. We don't want a lot of the extremes and extremes of this or that. We just want a nice environment to bring our families, to bring our daughters, to enjoy the game, whether it's at a physical game, whether it's on TV. We just want a clean environment. Well, that's what I want. So there's the fans aspect. Then you have the aspect of the players. They want to get paid really well. They want to have great conditions in terms of, equipment and facilities, staff, training staff, things of that nature. Then you have the perspective of owners. They want to see a profit. I don't think they really care about the the sport necessarily. I don't know. This is just my objectives. This is just my thoughts and my opinions, rather. And I don't think they really care. I just think they want to see a profit. And then you have the perspective of the commissioner who wants to do a great job. I think Kathy wants to have a great legacy. You know, this is a pivotal moment in the history of the WNBA and this agreement that is coming up. If she's able to increase revenue, if she's able to make a profit for the first time in WNBA history, would you not say she'll go down as one of the best business women ever? I don't know. I mean, this is a big task. She spent over 30 years at Deloitte. And so she has a lot of experience with business and working with different organizations in various aspects, whether it's financials or accounting. And so there's a lot of modeling she's done. And so I think she'll be one of the greatest women, business women ever, if she's able to pull off this, because this is a very unique environment. And but yeah, so those perspectives, and we all want different things. And my last video also talked about how, you know, people and institutions are always going to have their best interests in heart. So they're going to make decisions based off their interests. And so with those four stakeholders, fans, owners, players, as well as the commissioner, they all want different things, but some things do overlap. And those are going to be the easier things to negotiate in the CBA. But in this pivotal time, I think the players have the leverage. And I say they have the leverage because owners, they want to see a return on their investment. If the players decide to not play and they don't agree and they lock out, they all lose. The players, you know, they have an opportunity to go to Unrivaled or play overseas. Maybe everybody doesn't get to play, but the ones that are very talented can. A lot of these players now coming in are very influential, and I'll get to that later. You know, Van Vliet, Caitlin Clark, Cameron Brink, they're all influential players, have a lot of following. And so, you know, I think the age of the WBA, you know, it's kind of changing, where a lot of criticism has been given to Van Vliet and how she was maybe got chosen or was picked over others because of her following, which from her standpoint, hey, that's good business. I like to watch Ariel Powers a lot on social media, and you can tell that, you know, she's really invested in her social media. She does a great job with it. I think that you know, I think that that's just the name of the game of, you know, the 21st century business, is being able to have a following. And so the league is trying to grow, and so why not? And so that's you know, some talks about the CBA, some negotiations, and kind of catch you up on my last video. Still new at this, so, you know, take a look at that video and tell me what you think. The next thing I want to talk about is the marketability of the league. I kind of touched on it with Van Vliet, and how, you know, her following is probably a part of how she was able to get chosen. She's definitely talented, not taking anything away from her. But Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, they all have a lot of followings. They have a lot of people following them. And so them coming into the league from college, it brings more eyes to the game. And so it brings more awareness to what the WNBA has been up to for all of these years, have brought more eyes, more attention to the league. And so it's good for business. And from the league's perspective, it's a great opportunity to capitalize on, you know, sponsorship deals. They're trying to make deals to bring revenue into the league. And it's good for players because they have a lot of influence. They know they're bringing a lot of eyes to the league, and so they want to get compensated accordingly. And so that brings me to my next point in terms of professionalism. You know, I've been seeing a lot of unprofessional behavior from the players, and it might be just that, you know, they don't have the training the media training, maybe like people, players in the NBA, where it comes to their public affairs and how they're to respond to various social media posts. You could tell that certain things get under the skin of certain players, and so maybe there's some room for improvement there of how to interact with the media. There's this famous book coming up, this infamous book coming out that's going to have some things about Carrington in it, and how she reacted to a reporter, and you know the WNBA hasn't been used to this like the men. They haven't been scrutinized and criticized like the men have. So this is a opportunity to rise above where they are. If you want to get top dollar, you got to be criticized and scrutinized like you're getting top dollar. And so, no doubt they can take it. I think it's just, you know, being trained and how to respond in a way that is reflective and representative of what the WNBA as an organization is looking for. And so, just thinking about the image, when you think about the target audience, the current target audience of the WNBA compared to the target audience of where the leadership of the WNBA wants to go, what do you think that is? I want to hear from you. Put it in the comments. For me, I have two younger daughters, and I could see a family environment, clean environment. And so with that said, there's certain types of behavior, there's certain types of attitudes, there's certain archetypes that won't fit. And so, thinking about the NBA and the face of the league has been LeBron James, arguably you could say Steph Curry. And but when you think about those two individuals, they are very talented. That's number one. So the face of the league, they have to be talented. They have to be a leader, great leadership ability. They have to have some influence in the community, some swagger, something about themselves that gravitates fans to them. There has to be some marketability where fans, they want to spend money on their brand. They want to go see them. They'll fly overseas. They'll fly internationally to go see a specific player. And so I think those are some major criteria to suggest or to say who is the face of the league. And so maybe some other aspects of the face of the league outside of performance, the leadership, maybe their brand synergy, cultural symbol, market drivers, global appeal, performance, all those different things. Great examples back in the past is Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. You can kind of see that now with kind of Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, Michael Jordan in the 90s, Kobe Bryant in the 2000s, LeBron James, Steph Curry. And right now, I think the face of the league is, who do you think it is? Who do you think the face of the NBA is or is going to? It's a great question. LeBron James, Steph Curry, they didn't have any, bad, situations going on in their personal lives off the court. You can kind of trust them to represent the NBA well. Not a lot of issues with, family situations. Not a lot of issues with just off the court, situations. Compare it to somebody like Ja Morant, who I think is a very outstanding player, but I think where the NBA is trying to go, Ja Morant doesn't fit the archetype of what they're looking for to be the face of the league. He has a lot of swagger, he has leadership, he's very talented, but because of some of the things that's going on off the court, it doesn't jive what the NBA wants. Same thing with Anthony Edwards. He says he doesn't want to be the face of the league. I think I think he has all the qualities. But there's certain things with women and all these different things that's going on. And so in the same breath, in the WNBA, what do you think the criteria is to be the face of the league? I think Caitlin Clark, but you got some great players like Juju, Nafisia Collier, you got Angel Reese, you got so many different players that could fit the bill, or you know who come close to it. But what do you think? Who do you think the face of the league? Who do you think the league wants to be the face of the league compared to the fans? Who do the fans want to see compared to the players? Who do the players want the face of the league to be? They might be all different. And so, yeah, just write your comments down in the comment section. Let me know. But, more on that point in terms of the face of the league, in terms of, that criteria, the behavior has to change. Professionalism, they have to be more professional of how they, communicate. They can't, mouth off to the referees and, say negative things in the press about the referee. So, and that's a two-edged sword. The referee, they have to get better. And at the same time, there has to be some accountability of the referees. Maybe it doesn't have to be public, but it's something that goes on internally where, it quietly goes away and it's not an issue anymore because they either got better, there was some accountability, or there might be an opportunity, kind of like the NFL, to have like an expert that is on the broadcast to kind of explain certain things. And so maybe this is a way to influence the audience to have a better understanding of what the referees are looking at and how they're calling the game. And so maybe they want some drama, maybe they want some physicality because of the viewership. Who knows? And so there's a lot of people that get, upset and mad, but maybe there's a reason why they're doing that for the views. And so again, who do you think the face of the league is going to be? Who do you think, the fans, the players, the league, they all might want different people to be the face of the league? What are your thoughts? Now, when it comes to different individuals that's not going to make it, people like Channity Carter, I think she's a talented guard, point guard, shooting guard. I think she's really talented. I think she should have been in the league. I'm not sure why exactly. She's playing overseas now, but I put Carrington in the same boat. That there's certain types that is not going to make it because of the drama. I think that there's certain types of drama that the WNBA wants to get away from, and I think these two, Dejanay Carrington and Channity Carter, this drama that comes with these players who are very talented at what they do, but just like Shannon Sharp always talks about, is the drama that they bring to the locker room, to the league or whatever. Does their play excuse it? Are they bringing in enough fans, or are they bringing in enough influence, or bringing in enough revenue? Are they helping the team win at such a level that the drama doesn't matter? I want to see Kennedy Carter back in the league. She's one of my favorite guards. I love her tenacity. Same thing with Dejanay Carrington. They're very competitive. I think they should come back. Well, Carrington, she's still in, but there's just a lot of negativity around her. And so does the league want that? And so that's that. When it comes to, I'm looking at my list here. I got a list of different things. The last thing I want to talk about is, the sophomore class with Angel Reese, Brinks, Caitlin Clark. They brought a lot of eyes to the league. Cardosa, it's very, very talented individuals. They brought a lot of eyes, a lot of fans to the WNBA from college. And The rookies this year, Fifi, Citron, Paige Beckers, they've been outstanding. The Dallas team, they a couple days ago they were playing without a lot of their vets, and I think they had 3 or 4 rookies starting. They won the game, and so I see some of the skills that they're working on in the off season. Well, some of them don't even have off season because they're always playing, but when they practice with different skills coaches, man, some of those skills are very difficult that they're doing. Some of the drills that they're doing are very difficult, and so they're working on their game. And so the skill level between a lot of vets and some of the rookies coming in, it's getting smaller and smaller. It's already tough to make a roster, to stay on a roster, and with a lot of the new players coming in, they have a lot of following. Man, they're not going to put somebody out of the league that has millions and millions and millions of followers and a lot of influence. It's definitely a balance between being competitive and with entertainment. And I think we're at a junction now where you got to have a huge following and be good. I think that's the bar that is set. And so next year, the next 2 years, the drafts are going to be very exciting. I can't wait till Juju gets in the league. I think she's going to bring a lot to the league, a lot of eyes, a lot of competition with the players that's in there. And so very excited about that. So I think I'm going to leave it there. I want to hear what you think. Again, who's the face of the NBA? Who do you think it is? Who do you think the NBA tried to let be the face of the league, but it just didn't work out for whatever reason? Who do you think the fans, the commissioner and the league and the players want to be the face of the WNBA? And do you think Chennedy Carter will come back to the league? Again, my name is Christopher F. Coleman with the Business Intelligence Group. I'm a business leader, advisor, and business coach. It's been real. It's been fun. Catch you in the next one. Peace.